Alright, test, 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 mic, mic, mic. It should be working based off of the tests that I did, but yeah, hopefully it is. Johnny Ness, what's up? First stream, our first viewer on the stream in 7 years. Answer, answer, answer. I don't know who took the name Jetic, but fuck that guy. This is all part of my master plan to become a niche micro celebrity in my own right so that we can double our guild size and then the EU guild will be just the same size. Then I can reset on a rogue and I can get Illidan's the legendaries. I'll get the warglaves. Streamer privilege. What up, Tarahan? Tell me how to say it. I'm probably butchering your God-given name. First clutch. First death. Never looking at chat again. I'm never looking at chat again. Just spam report me. If enough of you do it, I'll get banned. It's an automatic response. They don't even check it. Nice. Good map design. Good cliff. I'm really glad that cliff was there. No, that's really good actually, because I wanted to walk an extra 2 minutes. That's like peak cinema. How's the bit rate on your guys' end and the audio quality? Too high, too low, all that good stuff. I have myself muted right now, so I'm not hearing double. Might be hard to see the UI on mobile. Yeah. That is for future Jetic to solve. I just wanted to get started because if I didn't start, I would never start. It's better to do something than nothing. Wool bags? 3 wool bags. That's biz. I'm still rocking 4 linen. Let's see, how would I increase my UI size anyway? Probably in edit mode. Don't be jealous, he says. Less than half my level and double my inventory capacity. I'm gonna be jealous. Where's my streamer privileges? Oh, I can't eat food that I've picked up anymore because now there's proof. That's bad. That's really bad. I'm gonna have to hit up Casino for more spiced bread. I was going to power level my cooking up with all this clam meat, but I don't even have the recipe for that yet. I can choose between boar, wolf, the birds, or more wolves. So I guess I have to start my crusade against wolves out here. I don't know if there are any. Under graphics and settings. Awesome. I'll check that real quick. Oh my gosh. Okay, 110 was too much. I'm going to try... Let's see. 102. That's still a lot bigger. I might go for just 101. That's still an improvement, but it's still a little bit wonky. I'm a fraud. I'm such a fraud. There goes my last potion. I'm so good at this game. You see how I have hotkeys for things and I promptly don't use them? Man. Started in 2006, by the way. Shamans are kind of off-putting to play after playing a hunter for so many years because steady shot and kill command are 80% of your damage. And then you come to shaman and you need to keep like 4 of your abilities rank 1s on your bars because of their super utility high use cases. Like Earth Shock is a 6-second cooldown, rank 1 still counts as an interrupt, but it takes less than half the mana. If I was good at this video game, I'd be a guild master. I'm Casino's problem. You got this, buddy. Oh my gosh, fraud. Shout out to Sprocket for this awesome Warhammer. So much DPS. 134 crit. Going back from Lock to Warrior Tank, so I feel super bad at the game. Lock is another one of those classes that feels like a hero class in TBC. It has so many perks and very few downsides, but one of the major downsides is it's not a tank. Tanks just have aura. Unfortunately for Warrior DPS, TBC kind of smacked them down to size because they were the undisputed kings of vanilla. Every spec was just phenomenal. But TBC brought a lot of the more lacking specs back up to a playable state, like a Boomkin. Basically unplayable in Classic. I casually saved his life from 8%. Don't pretend you didn't see it. We call that presence of mind. I really like this little shaman add-on I got right here. I can keep my charges of lightning shield right next to my HP. Good for just passive damage. I want to say lightning shield is very mana efficient as well. I haven't run the numbers, but yeah, 60 mana for 3 charges of 29 damage before modifiers. That's really good. Sigh, if only there were a friendly mage nearby that I could bother for some summoned water and food. Okay, look, I'm a man of honor. Power word fortitude dispelled. You can use it. No worries. They are authorized. Outside buffs are authorized. But I said I wasn't going to use it, so I'm not using it. Lightning Shield is the best damage per minute, at least in Classic. Either that or I'm blatantly lying. Yeah, true. Every single ability in the game is either the best or I'm lying. This is going to suck. When I run past nodes now that are way out of my way, I can't come up with an excuse to not get them. I'm going to have to go get them because I'm streaming. I can't just say, no one will know. Oh my gosh, this is an escort. I didn't realize. Don't die. Accountability is bullshit, because what if there's something that I don't want to do that I'm forced to do because of like societal pressures and duties, you know? And I think no one talks about that. That's probably a unique experience that I have just come up with. I've changed. You know, ever since I started streaming, I've changed. I just realize I deserve so much more. I need people's gold more than they do. That's really the crux of the issue. What do you guys think? Should I have the name above my character or no name? Oh, I don't want the shop. I almost never use the name above my character. Where's that? But it's kind of nice to have the guild name. It's infected him too. I never said it wouldn't. I never said it wouldn't. I am a human. And just like all humans, I'm imperfect and corruptible. Everyone has a price, and I just realized my price is somewhere in the realm of 4 gold. It's crazy, Dome Piece. I was just thinking, how could I alienate myself from my fan base that I've just curried so much favor with, you know? It's, I'm really trying to speedrun the whole, like, unrelatable thing. Because that's kind of the end goal for all these streamers anyway, so why not just jump straight to the end game? But yeah, what do we think about the name above the character? I kind of like having the earned not bought repped on the screen at all times, even though it's not my preference to have my name right above my head floating there. I guess it looks okay. What's that quote? The longer you stare into the abyss, the longer it stares back into you. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that. That's deep. It's like I can hear Stake.com already messaging me asking for a collab. And I can just roll the slots for hours and hours. That one scene from Gumball, I think we know where this is going. Let's skip straight to the end. The Amazing World of Gumball. Sometimes I don't know how that show was actually authorized to air. It had some crazy, crazy episodes. What was that one? I think it was on Cartoon Network. They had the big chef dude who went rada 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 rada. Chowder. Chowder. That was a fever dream. That was an absolute fever dream. I think that show was probably responsible for 80% of the autism and ADHD in younger millennials. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's damn impressive. Schnitzel. Schnitzel, my goat. It's funny how your IQ drops by about 20 or 30 points the moment you hit streaming. Because normally I think that I know more words and I know more elegant ways of creating sentences. But the moment I hit record, I'm just unga bunga. I'll hit my recruitment macro. See if anyone picks it up. Made by YouTuber Saki Boy, Social Experiment Guild. Earned, not bought, where every single item must be guild crafted. Fresh start on fresh characters. We made our own add-on. Me taking credit for the add-on, by the way. NA branch launched 2 days ago. Over 50 fresh level 1s making something new. I'm such a fraud, I looked away from chat again. From the game. Literally almost killed myself. I'm going to run somewhere safe real quick and just post in the Discord the self-promo that I'm streaming. Got to cultivate our own niche micro celeb to pull in the Twitch crowd. All right, one sec. Casino, how did I not realize that you were also streaming? I don't think you've advertised it. When am I going to turn into a VTuber? That is entirely dependent on budget constraints. I think first we hit the crowdfund. We start the Patreon, where I post once a week, and it's just an update about something I've baked. And then we go into the manufacturing arc, where we put it to a community poll. We find out what flavor of furry I want to be. And it'll probably be something that doesn't fit with my voice whatsoever. And then from there, it's off to the moon. Invest in Jetic coin, and we just skyrocket. Infinite wealth. Don't tell the IRS. You don't advertise it outside of the Discord channels. Feels weird to bring it up. I know what you mean. I feel a lot less awkward advertising Saki's name than my own. I wish these minions would despawn when you killed the summoner. Okay, my swing timer is clipping into the target. So I gotta go into edit mode real quick and move both of these up just a little bit. Perfect. That should prevent it. Stolen Valoring Saki's name. I was there. I wasn't in the Discord, but I've watched Saki's vids for a long time. I should be a chipmunk. Yeah, chipmunk would be good. I have rabbits. I actually have 5 rescue rabbits. My wife and I rescue. We've rescued 7. We've lost 2, but we still have 5 hard chargers. They're my little guard bunnies. So maybe I should be a, you know, a little floating head with very overt bunny ears for the culture, you know. That would surely attract a crowd. When the hardcore craft locked was advertised. When was that? When it was initially advertised? How long before it was advertised did he actually start putting out the videos? Because it seems like the time between the planning phase for this event and actually starting this event wasn't that long. It seemed like the community had a fervor to just get it started. I gotta turn down my game volume a little bit. Never mind. We don't have that technology. It's 5 or nothing. Oh, and the video itself came out. Gotcha. Dead Mines is probably whenever we can get a tank above level 21 to commit to it, and then 4 people above level 20 as well. I think that would be a solid prerequisite. Ideally, a level 22 tank or above, and 4 level 20 pluses. The number one thing we need to consider is the level of the tank, because the level differential between the tank and the mobs is what determines the base chance for mobs to miss and for the tank to block, parry, and dodge. And that will provide so much static defense. It'll help protect the healer's mana. So it's kind of just social dependent. I don't think that we can accurately set a time. Yeah, I see what you mean about not getting excited for the gear drops, but that's where the necessity of bringing an enchanter to all of our guild dungeon runs comes in. Because if we can filter all dungeon drops to an enchanter, we can just completely explode that person's material storage. And then that can get turned around and turned into useful items and enchantments for the guild. So it's going to be a bit of a long-term investment on those, especially once we get to the Scarlet dungeons or so. I want to say the mid to late 30s is a struggle. You start to get into the more common recipes that require blues as far as crystals, and so we'll need to get a lot of items disenchanted. But you're right, it'll be different. That awesome hammer drops, and I won't be able to use it. Feel free to weep for me, by the way. Casino, you can do whatever you want. Who's going to guild kick you? There's no rules. There's no rules. Every gear is hunter gear. Unironically, spirit's nice for regeneration. Intellect is nice for the mana pool. Strength is nice because you're probably going to run out of ammunition and just be auto-attacking. Agility goes without saying. I'm going to have to run to a town. This outpost, probably. I'm running out of drinks. Okay, just need one more. There it is. Perfect. I cannot wait for dual wield. I cannot wait for Wind Fury. That's going to be so awesome. Storm Strike, Lava Lash. This should be enough to hit 22. Perfect. All right, give me that crit. It brings me up to 10%, 10.6. 10.6, and those are smacking for about 185 damage or so. Pretty good DPS. Rockbiter 3 is adding 4 DPS, 6 DPS. That's really solid. I'm not sure about the breakdown between Rockbiter and Flame Tongue, but since I have them in my add-on, I don't need them on my bars. Johnny Bless, are you leveling Holy or Shadow? Are you going to be able to heal for dungeons? Rated with the viewer count of 2. Thank you, Casino. See you later, man. The niche micro celebrity grows. NA supremacy. Okay, it's time to offload some materials. That should be good. Now I need water. Wanted to hop off once I got the bird that had Screech. Yeah, I saw you mentioned it had pretty good threat generation. Got some food waiting and some things to do. Good luck on the leveling. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'm sure I'll see you later. So have a good one. I guess I have a stretch goal of trying to get to 25 today, but I'm not too worried about it. If an opportunity comes up to do a full guild run, I would totally be willing to put aside leveling. In fact, I actually got all of the Dead Mines quests that you can get, except for the chain that you have to get by killing the Defias. So I can share those. I think this is probably about when I make the intermission and go start leveling my cooking and fishing a little bit. I can wait. Soon enough, I'll get frustrated with not being able to have food. But the day is not today. What have I done? This ghost wolf can just get you out of trouble, no problem. You can outrun mobs, so it doesn't matter if you overpull. Copper's still green for me. I've hit like 12 of them. I haven't gotten a single skill up. It probably stops at level 100 or something. Yeah, I'm mining level 99. I would not be surprised if copper goes gray at 100. Hildal Bloodclaw. This is going to be rough. He's going to resist everything. I've got to save mana for healing. Yeah, healing and flame shock. That's it. Easy, actually. Balloon's Tear. Alright, let's see if this is the one. Level 100. Mining incoming. Nice. Yep, now it goes gray. I ran straight past that copper. I'm gonna try advertising in general, see if I get trolled. I need some hate watchers. What's that one saying? You can measure someone by their enemies. So if I have 1,000 hate watchers, I gotta be doing something wrong. A casual 2,000 meter walk. Rested XP. The speedrun guide, by the way. Hook, line, and sinker. Maybe we got one. We'll see what happens. Said cool idea. Why is this person? Oh, level 52. Nothing AH. Can't buy anything at all from the AH, I take it. Kind of like self-found. Similar to self-found, but must be crafted. No dungeon drops, etc. No quest rewards. Profession only. It's fun explaining the idea to people for the first time because I think it clicks in their head. It makes sense for people that play MMOs. I think it makes sense to them inherently where you bring back the idea of community, you maximize the importance of professions, you minimize the importance of random gold. Above my pay grade on the dungeon drops. It's actually not bad. Yeah, I think it calls out to something that's pretty lacking in the MMO community. The moment I heard about it, I was like, man, that it makes so much sense. There's so many natural benefits of being in an event like this. People join, their professions are immediately useful. Even if you're a level 5 and you just picked up mining, your professions are immediately useful. You can stack up ore, send it to a jewel crafter. They can prospect it into jewelry, turn it into, items for people. Everyone has 3 jewelry slots. So one jewel crafter has, potentially 30 plus slots that are dedicated to them that only they can fill, depending on how many jewel crafters are online. Skinning, the hides aren't nearly as common as the leathers, but some recipes require the hides. Leatherworking, leatherworkers are great. You have those reinforced armor kits, and every little piece of armor that you can get, the stat down here, is pretty nice. Reduces physical damage taken by 15.7%. Doesn't sound like much, but over any given day, you're hit hundreds or maybe 1,000 times. So reducing 16% of that. And that's only with leather, not even including mail. Am I able to use recipes I get from quest rewards? Feel free. Recipes, always good. There's some little friction points, like questions like that, where it's not immediately inherently evident whether or not it should be allowed, but we can answer those questions so quickly in chat. It doesn't actually pose a problem. Profession support is always okay. Leatherworkers are going to have to buy coarse thread from a vendor. Alchemists are going to have to buy flasks, the empty glass bottles, whatever. So it's all good. Maybe I should start gambling, because I want to monetize when people think the Jetic files are going to come out. When Solo Baggins releases them. A little bit of NA branch drama. $5 silver for 10 mage food and 9 mage water on day 1 of the event. Man, that's greed. That is greedy, greedy. Capitalism, he says. Capitalism in my socialist communist guild? Solo Baggins and I have history. There's some lore there. If you noticed earlier when I offloaded all of my profession resources to different players, he got all of my cloth. I'm being extorted. This is a cry for help. Normally I'd be much more excited about getting a mount in 8 levels, but instant cast Ghost Wolf is so nice. Are mounts still a full 3-second cast in TBC, or did they move it down to 1.5? It might have been Wrath when they cut down the mount time. But an instant cast 40% move speed, that's really good. That beats a 3-second cast 60% over anything under, what, 10 seconds? 10-second travel time? Later on, I'm going to figure out how to get Discord working playfully. No problems whatsoever with OBS. So I can stream the Discord voice, because I'd like to have the Deadmind group be able to hop in Discord and have their whole, like, their reactions, you know, live, real-time strategizing and polls, decision-making, all of that stuff be included, instead of just my perspective, my voice. I think the recording with the entire NA branch group will end up being a lot more fun if we get multiple perspectives, multiple people. Okay, Ratchet Flight Point. Okay, now it wants me to do Wailing Caverns. I'm not doing that, but I have picked up the quests. Skipping past all of the Wailing Cavern stuff. I'll save my hearth. I'll just fly back to Astronar. That way I can use my hearth later. Three minutes. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back when I land. All right, I'm back. That was a very refreshing drink. Johnny Ness just had a funny moment. Guy went to snipe a chest from me, but he got into combat, so I waited for like a minute while the mobs just attacked me, and I healed myself. And then I eventually ran. The mobs went on him. I went out of combat, got the chest. That's what he gets. All's fair in love and chest warfare. The rule set says we can use fishing poles. Can we use bobbers, or do we have to level fishing without them? Yeah, you can use bobbers. That's a normal way of working with the profession. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, day one, we had to clarify a couple times that you can't use fishing poles as weapons. You can't equip them in your main hand as weapons. But yeah, if you're just doing regular fishing, there's nothing wrong with bobbers. Those are awesome. They cut down on the amount of trash that you catch so that you can actually catch more usable materials for the guild and yourself. Oh, I see what you're saying, Johnny Ness. You pulled aggro by healing him a lot, and then you just kept yourself alive, which kept him alive because the mobs originally aggroed on him. So as long as the mobs were attacking you, he wasn't out of combat. So you were like holding him hostage. That's funny. Man, I wish these stags just dropped stag meat instead of the moon graze specific. Oh, who's hitting me? You bastard. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Scarlet Dungeons. Those are awesome. They were so imposing the first time I went there. You have to go through Horde territory. Can I please? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was close. What a fraud. Miss, miss, resist, resist. I'm gonna have to save my mana for interrupts mostly. Man, Lesser Healing Wave is so good. If we include non-classic dungeons, I'm probably going to get hate for this, but the Oculus, when it came up in the random dungeon finder in Wrath, when everyone picks, you know, a different color dragon, that was fun. People just hated it. It was so easy, it was so fast, but people couldn't be bothered to learn how the dragons worked, so they would get that one and they would just quit and take the 30-minute dungeon abandonment timer. There's nothing wrong with the Oculus. Super easy badges. Get in, get out. Farm your BOA items. Immediately puts Oculus hate in the chat. Really, Arnold's least favorite is Wailing Caverns. I think Wailing Caverns is really annoying if you don't know. Oh, crap. Come on, come on, come on. Wow, that was close. That was way too close. Again with the resist, miss, miss. If you don't know the layout for Wailing Caverns, it was a lot harder and much more annoying to traverse back before they added maps. But once they added maps, I think Wailing Caverns was pretty nice. If you wore leather, that was the dream dungeon for you early on. The Armor of the Fang set. No more can wear on me just because I get kind of tired of the poison aesthetic. There's a reason that most games limit the poison area to one very annoying part of the game, and they increase its difficulty there. And then you don't really have to deal with those poison swamps ever again in the game. They really wear out on people. It's fun a couple times for the lore, but I mean it's gnome lore, so it's not like it's important. Ironforge is way cooler. You ask me, the gnomes got a good deal getting invited into Ironforge. This is a really nice little shortcut. I never knew about this. Rested XP OP. I guess I go around. Kill Ilkrud Magthrul. Loot him for his tome. Ilkrud Magthrul will cast Ilkrud's Guardians, which is a 5-second long cast. Stop it if you're able to. I haven't seen milk dropping from these mobs, but I guess I have to be checking it pretty consistently because milk is my current drink. So I've got to make sure that if it's dropping some, I just throw those ones away. Well, the longer I go, the more I'm thinking 25 is definitely within reach. Because I'm getting really good XP just from killing these things. I've got quests to turn in. It's my first time using Purge. Oh, I'm such a fraud. Kill this thing, damn. They did not make all mobs equal. They played favorites. Knockdowns, disarms, fears, stuns, roots, those things are so annoying. It makes it nice when you can sneak past them, though. Why did I even say anything? Being underpowered, teaching us to play the game better. That's what you would hope. That's what you would hope, but I think that what actually happens is you make the same amount of mistakes. When I say you, I mean me. And you just create more opportunities for you to complain. But, you know, complaints give me something to say. If I'm not complaining, I'm going to have a lot more dead space on the air. That was streamer curse, though. I literally just said it felt great to sneak by mobs like that. Those annoying ones that knock you down. And promptly and immediately pulled it. Yeah, I don't know about this. I'm going to have to pull these pretty carefully. Yep. Nice. I get knocked down, but I get up again. These fell slayers never keep me down. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Feeling the gear. I think I pulled. Nope, we're good. Now would be an awesome time to not miss. This part was torture when I was leveling my regular shaman. Well, that's good to hear. Thanks for your vote of confidence. No, I feel so much better now. Thanks for that message. I am really encouraged. I'm enthused, even. So I'm, of course, going to have to use my Stone Claw. I'm just going to let the succubus take out the Stone Claw. I'm only going to focus the main guy. Even if I die, I'm just going to try to take him down, get the item, and throw a quick heal. Drink a little more. Okay, put that down. That's a waste because I'm about to use my Stone Claw. So, okay. So now I save my... I just eat these Shadow Bolts. Gifted the Naru early. I wait until the end. Hopefully it doesn't resist. Oh, so I guess it doesn't count as a... I guess it stops counting as an interrupt the moment I try to use it for that spell. Thanks, Earthshock. I'll have to come up with another way. Maybe I need to get a healing potion. I definitely don't have the DPS to fight him and the 4 summons. Just get their HP below 0 while keeping mine above 0. You're so eloquent. You have a way with words. They're not going to despawn too, huh? If I pull him again, he's going to summon 2 more. I don't know if I can complete this one. I bet it's a long walk too. 1,200 yards. I'm talking myself out of it. That's the same advice as just saying, just click their heads in an FPS. Yeah, true. Yeah, if I played Counter-Strike professionally, I'd click on heads. I would make it so that my cursor, my crosshair, went over the enemy's heads, and then I just push the button. You push the button and then they die. And you win, what, $2 million? Okay. I will say maybe it was a fluke, and surely this time Earthshock won't do me dirty. And if it does do me dirty, I'm going to hold on to the Stone Claw and drop it only when the summon goes through. And then it'll pull aggro from the Voidwalkers and the Succubus. So I just have to tank the Succubus. Oh, I can Tremor Totem. I can... Oh, never mind. That's not the one that interrupts. That's the Quaking Totem or something. I don't even know if that one's in BC or not. That's interesting. Let me just make sure there's nothing else I can use. Rank 2, Stoneclaw, perfect. Cure Poison, I should put that on my bars. Okay, round 2. I think we just go in and win the first time with no issues. Good start. Resisted my flame. We drop it immediately. We let it pull aggro. Gift to the Naru. And heal. And then it's just a DPS check. Hit. Got it, first try. First try, and I don't want to hear it. Earthbind, and surely I get out. Damn. Worth. Very, very worth. When I get done, will you let Yunda know that Melee Weaver would love... Okay. Hey, Casino, what's your name again? Melee Crafters? Melee Crafter, singular, okay. Yeah, I mean, that worked perfectly. I'm sure that quest is going to be a lot of XP. Small price to pay. Yeah, Gift of the Naru came in clutch there. If I was a Horde Shaman, that would have been impossible. Seriously, that would have been impossible. The DPS increase you get from the Horde racials would not have equaled the increase in survivability that I got from being a Draenei. Alliance superiority. Truly. Not to mention the plus 1% hit chance. My bird's getting lonely and would like a squirrel. True. I'm considering going and getting a cat. But if there's a mouse, is there a mouse pet? Because I think it would be funny to have an Elec, the Draenei pet, or Draenei mount. Because of that old, wives' tale of elephants being very scared of mice. So, you pair those up. Fuck you, Felguard. Get me out of here. Casino, I'm not sure if we've ever spoken. I think we've only ever texted between us. Do you work swing shift or something? By the way, Yunda just said that they dropped the squirrel in the second tab of the guild. Much more communicative over text than voice. You put a lot of confidence in me, expecting me to be able to pronounce words like communicative. Like I said, your IQ drops 20 or 30 points the moment you start streaming. Well, that's fine. We don't need to speak over voice to be a good team. I think the NA guild has progressed wonderfully. In fact, I'm going to shill myself and Saki again real quick. Streaming live on Twitch right now. Jetic 1. I would have had a hard time saying it too. I'm glad it's not just me. The biggest thing I've noticed so far about streaming is that I don't want to waste time. I'm like just going from thing to thing to thing, and I'm trying to cut out dead time, dead space. And that has actually translated to leveling pretty quickly, making pretty solid progress just as a byproduct. I've gotten a lot done in the past hour and a half. I sometimes hop in VCs, but I'll rarely speak apart from the occasional joke. That's valid. So when you open your mouth, it's to Aura Farm. That's my guild master. Joni Ness, you might want to shill more in starting zones, since people are much more likely to make a new character if they're already leveling an alt. Very, very true. Very true. I have done around 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours of standing at the Stormwind gate, just advertising for the guild. And I even made this macro. I made the scattershot one, the scattershot logo, so that I can click people and shoot them with it. Automatically whispers them. All I have to do is target them, click it, and then it sends it. And so yeah, we've been pretty successful recruiting that way. Nerdy one, hi, I just joined the Discord today and plan on making a tune on the NA server today. I'm excited. Well, perfect. I am probably the guy that you want to talk to. I've done the most recruiting for NA, and I'm an officer in the guild, so I can invite you, no problem. If you have any questions, you can ask here or you can ask in the guild chat. You'll probably get answers relatively the same speed, relatively as quickly. And yeah, we're always looking for more players. I would say, I always recommend one of your professions be gathering. Not mandatory, it's not going to be enforced or anything, but it really lessens the logistical burden. Jetic is a 10 out of 10 officer, does my job for me. Not quite. There's things I can't do. You know, I can't pin a message in Discord. I don't have Discord perms. So anything over Discord, I rely entirely on you. Hey, Dome Piece, that was a really funny joke, but can you go back to farming cloth for the whole guild? 2 more stacks before you're allowed to send your next message. What am I in combat with? But yeah, I saw that the EU... Let's be honest. Saki is the cult of personality, you know? He's the reason I joined. And just his presence alone being on EU is going to pull more people to the EU, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's really awesome for them. There's even a number of NA players who went through the whole multiple hour-long process of getting set up on the EU to be in the same server region as Saki. But the way that I see it is that shouldn't be a necessity. I think that there should be branches on EU and NA that have equal levels of care and attention being put into them. Equally valuable branches. And just in the world that we live in, it really helps to pull attention to those projects if you have a if someone can lend a voice to that project. I guess a face as well, but I'm not too interested in doing a face cam. I don't want to show you guys my terrible sun damaged skin. 5 years in the military, you can probably imagine. My wife's skincare routine is much better than mine. Undecided about what class and professions I want to play. You are a blank slate. Cannot go wrong with tanks and healers. Very true. Very true. Specifically, I'm partial towards paladins in TBC. Casino was playing a paladin, switched to hunter because we definitely needed some hunters. We have a solid core of warriors. We have From Source. We have Sprocket. I know we have more, but those are the two that come to mind immediately. And I don't, unfortunately, I'm not super caught up on what paladins we have that have made it to a decently high level. Looks like our highest level paladin is down there. It's down there. So if you're a dedicated player, you know, paladin tank is freaking awesome. Best AoE tank. Really, really solid AoE farming for different materials like elementals. Elemental, fire, or whatever it's called, primal. TBC, I can't remember which one. I'm the reason, you are the reason I am joining. Oh, I'm the reason that you're joining. Did you see my shill post in general chat? Here in, what zone is this? What the hell zone is this? I completely forgot. I don't play Kalimdor. Well, regardless. Did you see my general post? Or was it in the Discord? Ashenvale, damn it, you're right. Yeah. I completely forgot. What am I doing here? Killing Murlocs. I'd like to see paladins just by virtue of there not being many, and the ones that we have not being a very high level. I watched the YouTube channel, joined the Discord, planning on playing tonight, just saw your live stream post and thought I would hop in. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, that's the intent. Saki brings a lot of people to the Discord for sure, and my main goal on the Discord is to show that the NA branch is not a sideshow, that we're a serious project, and we're going to have just as much stuff going on on our branch as the EU will. I've never died, by the way. Might as well be a hardcore character. Okay. Yeah, I've never died. I win this 10 out of 10 times. Tactical retreat. I got dazed. Perfect. Part of the plan. Break the daze. Slow the Murloc. Die. That's the combo, actually. I'm just testing the death mechanics in Ashenvale to make sure everything is working properly. I do this service for Blizzard for free, time to time. When TBC came out, I rolled a Draenei Holy Pally. I loved raiding with it back in the day. Yeah, it's so good. Blessing of Kings alone is a really, really amazing buff. Think about adding 10% stats to 20 players. You're adding 2 whole players worth of stats to the raid. We've collectively put hundreds of hours into developing our guild bank. Very true. Very true. And it's interesting the situation we're in where people are being almost, I want to say almost, not entirely, too courteous with taking things out of the guild bank, because guild bank storage is an issue. Storage is an issue. And if people were a little bit more willing to just say, hey, I could gain 15 skill ups if I just grab some of this stuff, that would be really useful if it cleared out some space, assuming that those people would then turn around and use those profession skills and updated crafting levels for the guild. Pushing the limit of Draenei Shaman. I am trying. I'm really trying. I want to see what I can do. I have not played Shaman for a significant amount of time outside of like modern WoW. I played up to about level 45 or so on vanilla, but it was pretty different. I had a permanent duo, and we never struggled a single time. We were a shaman and a priest, and so we just had so much utility, so much healing. The only thing we didn't have was speed and DPS. Once I got Wind Fury, then it was really fast. It was really easy. TBC has dual spec. I know leveling Holy is so slow. TBC does have dual spec. I don't remember how much it costs. I also don't know what level it becomes available, so I wouldn't count on it being available early on. It might be something that doesn't open up until level 30 or 40. Maybe later, who knows. But 50 gold, level 40, perfect. It's nice being able to just lie, and then people will correct me. one of the major perks. Same as classic. Same as classic. I thought dual spec came out in Wrath. Maybe I'm wrong. Johnny Ness said, I have no shame about taking out of the guild bank. Nor should you. You have been contributing a lot to the guild bank. There's nothing wrong in a guild like this to expect to be able to receive items, but the expectation is that you'll also be putting stuff back in when you can. And honestly, that's the best way to do it. Neither myself nor Casino want to get involved in really heavily monitoring the transactions. What we'll monitor is like shield and staff purchases, because those are otherwise unverified gear purchases. But for regular materials and things, I certainly don't want to, and I'm sure Casino does not want to, do regular auditing of just standard transactions. I think it's a lot better to just assume that the guild is going to operate well. And again, the spirit of the challenge is such that people really just kind of fall into line, and they just kind of throw themselves into the challenge. The most cooperative version of people comes out, and that's been really cool to see. It's an honor system. We're all adults. Hopefully nothing more needs to be done with it. Yep, precisely. Precisely. And it hasn't happened yet, but with a significant rule break or with wanton abuse of the guild bank, the option always remains for the removal of a problem player. But we're multiple days in, and I haven't even caught a whiff of anything like that. Again, because of the nature of the challenge and the fact that you can't have alts, when people log in, people know who you are. Your name, your word, the way you behave with people, the way you interact, the things you say, your social status matters. And that has been lost to MMOs for a long time, and I've never seen such a resurgence in that way more than I have in this challenge. People who would want to join a guild like this can be trusted with the guild bank, especially this early on when the materials in there aren't endgame. Exactly. And it's like that old parable, if you can be trusted with a little, you can be trusted with a lot. The more successful we are with the lower tier materials, the more confident I am that with higher tier materials, it won't be abused. Yeah, exactly, Casino. Excuse me. Yeah, the way it's set up, people have to... Oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was a wall. Do we not have the technology? That's my mistake. No, it's really on me. See, back on the Exodar, when I crash landed on this godforsaken planet, I was under the impression that Azeroth had functioning walls, but clearly I expected too much from this backwater. Inventory's full. I think not. I'm gathering all of these clams. When I get the clam recipe, I'm absolutely cooking. That's a double entente, because that has a double meaning, you know. Not only am I cooking, but, you know, for the profession. Please laugh. Things you would think are walls aren't, and things you would think aren't walls are. Yeah, trees in Teldrassil, it's such a grab bag. It's such a grab bag, you never know. Come here, crawler, give me your shell. Small indie developer. We don't have the technology. I think my biggest problem is I go into fights with not enough mana. I need to visit the bear in the tree at some point. You know, I thought about what that might be. I thought about a joke that I could try to make from it. Nothing came to mind. So then I thought, if I ignore it, it'll go away. I will not provide any context. I shouldn't have expected any. That's on me. I did this not too long ago on... Actually, I can't say that because I'm streaming WoW. Never mind. There's a version of WoW that Blizzard doesn't prefer. Come on, Wrathtail Wave Rider, gimme head. Gimme Wrathtail head. $26 silver, I can't get rid of that. I'll delete a health potion. I've got to get better at keeping my Gift of the Naru on cooldown. It doesn't do anything when I don't use it, and it's got a 3-minute cooldown, so I might as well be using it 20 times an hour. I'm very much looking forward to my stint in Kalimdor being over. I want to spend a lot of time in Eastern Kingdoms. I miss it. Such a nice place. All of my nostalgia is in those zones. I made a Night Elf originally. I was a Night Elf hunter. But when I first started playing, I started with my dad and my uncle. And they were both... one was a human, one was a dwarf. And they pretty much forced me to make the run from Menethil, like Darkshore to Menethil, Menethil to Dunmoreau. So I spent all of my time in the Eastern Kingdoms. See, situations like that, 91 mana, 224 HP, I shouldn't be going into combat. Pause, heal up, 15 seconds of drinking. Easy peasy. It feels like it's been so long since I've resisted a spell. It's a nice little treat. Hey Nerdy, are you still in here? Nerdy1? Nice. If you look at my chat, Sprocket Knife. Sprocket Knife is actually our main blacksmith. If you do decide to go a mail wearing class, that person will be invaluable for helping you get decked out in some gear. Oh no, you're good, man. You're good. The way I personally watch streamers is I put it on. I shouldn't announce this if now I'm trying to stream. Everyone does it. I put it on my phone. I turn the phone upside down, and then I usually put it at the end of my desk. Just use it as background noise. I have 3 monitors at work and one has 3 Twitch tabs. Now 4 with your stream open right now. I use headphones. 4 Twitch tabs open at once. That is dopamine maxing. So you gotta tell me who are the other tabs. Now I'm curious who my competitors for your attention are. If it's some gooner stuff, then I don't want to know. Gotta get those numbers up. I listen to a lot of Asmongold. It's a holdover from when I actually watched him when he, you know, was a World of Warcraft streamer before he was just a purely political and internet drama streamer. Man, I remember watching his like how-to videos way back in the day, way back in the day. But I still like the guy. I think it's pretty cool that he became kind of king of the nerds and has enough wealth to tell a lot of the industry to just fuck off. I think he is indicative of a lot of people in the kind of nerd culture, video game culture, as far as values, the kinds of things that they want in games versus what they don't want in games. But yeah, nowadays I'm not really looking for political takes and social takes from video game streamers. So I'm just going to die here, I think. Focus this named person down. Gift of the Naru early. Get my Flame Shock. I think I can probably kite that other melee. Hit a heal. One auto. Missed. Oh, thank God. Whew, 1,200 meter walk. Wow. 1,200 meter walk, but I got it. Worth it. Katambas, Final Fantasy VII Speedrunner, Core 1, German Guild-found WoW Hardcore Classic, Shane Zell, FF1 Speedrunner, and World Record Holder. Mostly WoW and Final Fantasy. That's awesome. I have a lot of nostalgia for Final Fantasy X. I know it's definitely one of the older ones as far as what's been coming out more recently. And I know it's very different from the old ones, like the true OGs, but that was the first one that I got personally on the PlayStation. Man, that was an absolute showcase on how to push hardware to its limit. What they were able to do on the PlayStation 2 with Final Fantasy X was amazing. And Tidus and Yuna. No, I'm not a baby. I mean, I'm about to turn 30. It's just that I didn't own very many consoles early on. My friends did. I'm turning 30 this year, so I'm about to get into my Unk era. In fact, I already have 4 nephews. So I guess I am officially Unk. Final Fantasy VII was awesome. I played it, but I didn't personally own it. And then when the Nintendo Switch came out and I bought a Switch, one of the first games that I bought when it was available was, I don't know if it came out with the Switch or if it released later, but I got the Final Fantasy VII version on the Switch, which was nice because it came with the hardware acceleration, so you could farm at like 2 or 3 times speed. I turned 40 this year. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I figured that people interested in this challenge probably weren't going to be 18-year-old Zoomers, 16-year-old Zoomers. But I also think that the on average older age has probably lent a bit of maturity to the guild. Not that you would be able to tell when you look at our guild chat, but as far as the ease of guild management, I can definitely tell. Did you see how quickly I accepted? I've been dying far too much recently that I have the muscle memory built up. Exactly where to hold my mouse. How many quests? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 complete quests. Gotta run. I'll throw you on in the car. Have to go get my son from daycare and then off to Ninja Warrior class. That's awesome. My coworker has his half-sisters. They compete in the national Ninja Warrior thing. They travel, they follow the competition, all that good stuff. Ninja Warrior is pretty awesome. You've got to be a very elite hybrid athlete. I was not a hybrid athlete at all. I did rugby and rugby only. Got a side of muscle contusions with my CTE. I've had this unopened mail for so long. I really just need to go check it. Should be level 23. Nice. One hour, 20 minutes. Not bad. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay. More lightning shield damage. That checks out. Skipping the Black Fathom Depth stuff for now. Hearth to Astronar. Should I Hearth? No, that's a quick walk. Then again. Vendor trash. Let's see what Tarahin got me. Streamer gold. Love your content. I want to help you any way I can. Here, take me money. That's getting kept. Okay, gotta clip that. Enter trash. Let's see what Tarahin got me. Streamer gold. Love your content. I want to help you any way I can. Here, take me money. That's getting kept. Vendor trash. Okay, the clip is being saved and I'm posting it in Discord. Tarahin got me. Streamer gold. Love your content. I want to help you any way I can. Here, take me money. That's getting kept. Vendor trash. Let's see what Tarahin got me. Streamer gold. That is so funny. Copy link, close it, post in Discord. Okay, yeah, back at it. Back at it again. That was hilarious, Tarahin. I do not want to do cooking right now, but man, half of my inventory is being eaten up by this skill.
My goods are of the highest quality.
Okay, we'll send those off to Rose. Rose can probably make some awesome stuff with those scales. Tarahin gets all my raw mats to help boost him up. And Solo gets my cloth. Take the lazy way out and send your cooking stuff to someone you know is leveling it. That works in the long term. In the short term, my only benefit would be emptying out, pardon me, a lot of inventory slots, which is nice, but I guess, you know, I'm not really struggling that much without food. I can just kind of heal myself. I can just lesser healing wave, 1.5 seconds in between pulls. Maybe you're right. I'll ask in guild. I'll cook it and send you some. Alright, dome. Clam, 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 clam. let's just clam meat. I wanted to ask, is there a lack of profession or what is needed the most? Professions are, I would say, overall pretty well covered down on. If you're looking to try to fit in as best as possible, I think that the first thing you do is grab a gathering profession, whether or not it's mining, skinning, or herbalism. And then blacksmithing is more important than engineering. You only need, really one or two dedicated engineers. Blacksmithing is a little bit more important because if blacksmiths aren't online at the right time, you just won't get your upgrades. Engineers can just keep a measure of ammo supply in the guild bank, and they can just cover down on that for hunters. I guess it kind of depends on what class you're going first. That would help guide my decisions or my opinions. If you were a clothy, I kind of think that we need another alchemist. We just destroyed a bunch of peace bloom in the guild bank. Actually, it was vendored because we didn't have any alchemists eating it up. So we only have 4 alchemists. Okay. 4 alchemists doesn't sound bad because we have a population of around, 54? Are we up to 54 now? 52. So 4 alchemists out of 52 is, maybe a little low. We lost one on day 2. It might be nice to get a dedicated alchemist. If you were a clothy, but you wouldn't have to be a clothy. I see, leather workers, or not leather workers, leather wearing classes like druids and rogues go alchemist pretty often as well. So if you wear mail, I would say pretty much you're kind of shoehorned into going mining because mining is just so critical, especially when we get into TBC content. We're going to need a huge influx of ore to prospect for our jewel crafters so that we can play the gambling game. If you're a clothy or a leather worker, I guess an herbalist alchemist would be pretty nice. Alternatively, herbalist skinning, if you do not want to deal with production professions. You could do alchemy and mining. That is an option, but I would definitely recommend being able to gather your own mats, just in case, because if you go mining alch, that implies that someone else out there might have herbalism, blacksmithing, and it would just be better to try to cut out the inconsistencies and just recommend that both people go with the supporting skill themselves. So it's not like it would be a problem, like you would be harassed for not doing it, but harassed for doing it. But I do think it's more optimal to go with your own supporting profession. That way, if you get the little brain worm that makes you want to gather for 4 hours straight, you can actually make use of it. Oh my gosh. Does privilege have a D in it? Privilege. It does not. I'm telling you, the moment you hit record, your IQ drops.
How may I help? What brings you here? A shah fell out. Good luck.
Get me out of here. trash. Let's see what Tara Hen got me. Streamer Gold. Love your content. I want to help you any way I can. Here, take me money. That's getting kept. I'm grabbing a drink real quick. That's why I'm not saying anything. Alright, we're back. Nerdy1 says, I was thinking if I went Resto Druid, SKIING skinning, / leatherworking, Holy Pally mining / jewel crafting, Hunter mining / NG. I have personally never done herb or alchemy. I've just realized we have very few rogues. Yeah, we don't have many rogues. We also don't have many paladins. I think paladins and rogues are both pretty... Oh, you're good, man. You're good. I think paladins, hunters, and rogues are our most underrepresented classes. They're all good, of course, but yeah, if you're looking at picking one of those specifically, I'm partial towards getting more pallies in the guild. I don't know the specifics of Holy Pally. I don't know how Holy Pally is in TBC, but it's not like you can't play... It's not like you have to play like the most meta thing you're going to get kicked out. If we were worried about meta, we wouldn't be doing the earned not bought challenge. We'd be, following the meta like everyone else. We'd be boosting our characters to 58, foregoing our professions, gold maxing at the cost of everything else. So I think play what you are interested in. If there's one of those that in your heart of heart you're like, man, I'd really rather log in and do this one, then go with that one for sure. If you're just looking at utility, I think Paladin provides by far the most utility. Having 3 in a in a group to be able to cover down on Might, Wisdom, and Kings would be really, really nice. So we're thinking about... Paladins are pretty awesome. Crusader Ore is pretty awesome. Druids are pretty easy at the start of this challenge. Once they hit level 10 and you get bear form, it doesn't matter that you don't have a weapon, because the scaling of your damage doesn't go off of your weapon DPS. It goes off of your attack power. So your bear form automatically gives you a big measure of attack power. So it doesn't matter that you're not getting as consistent weapon upgrades compared to the other classes. Hunter is an absolute hero class at level 70, the most powerful single target DPS out there. I also think that post level 10 they have a pretty smooth experience. I haven't heard Casino, our guild master, decrying hunters too much. On the contrary, I think that he's mentioned that once you start melee weaving, you do a melee auto attack and then you step backwards, and then you stop moving and you're out of range for your melee, but you're within range for your ranged weapon. You can kind of do like a double auto attack. Melee auto attack, step back, ranged auto attack, step in, melee auto attack. And then, let's see, what was the other one you were talking about? That was the last one. Never done herb or alchemy before. It sounds like you have a couple good choices ahead of you. let's be honest, we all know how WoW works. We're going to need more tanks and healers. So if you're down to heal, level a pally. They also have great utility. That seems like a really solid option. Our guild blacksmith is very responsive too, so you'll get gear as a paladin. I also believe that. I really believe that you wouldn't struggle for gear for too long. The first couple levels are kind of designed to be a punch fest, but that just makes the moment that you get gear more rewarding. Casino's here. I did a lot of punching, but it becomes a cakewalk once you get melee weapon, ranged weapon, and pet. Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday, how your DPS probably quadrupled once you got access to auto shot plus a pet. And being honest, it probably was somewhere close to a 4x DPS increase. I think I'm going to go Pally. It was fun healing. Solid option. Pallies are pretty good. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Pallies still have the different judgments that they can focus. So if we have two paladins in a group, one can go Judgment of Light, one can go Judgment of Wisdom. And we can max on the amount of resources that we're getting back. I'm now doing close to 40 to 50 DPS consistently. Let me check what I'm doing. 45 on that fight. 8 on that fight. 62 on that one. Yeah, I think your average at your level is darn near close to my average, and I'm 8 levels higher or so. So that's really nice. Just at 16, so I am 7 levels ahead. I thought I could walk through there. Oh, Katawin is here. I'm gonna go say hi. I can't wait to get my hate viewers. Where you at, Katawin? Once I process some core stone, it'll only get higher because I can start crafting tier 2 bullets. Perfect. That will be a big DPS increase. Sorry, Katawin, I tried to find you. I was going to let you say hi. Oh, true. Could be a different layer. Man, I really dislike the sheer amount of layers that they've done. Is it really necessary if the population's not even that high? Why would we fragment the player base even more? I want the world to, at least in capital cities, we're not competing over resources and limited mob drops, you know? I want capital cities to feel like capital cities. I think that Blizzard has really not hit the mark with their overlayering of these servers. Just because we have the technology doesn't mean we should use it. Kotz and I have been in a little competition. Kotz tends to pull ahead of me by 2 levels, and then I hop on and I absolutely blow ahead. But then I'll get stuck in some kind of like recruiting nonsense, or guild management, or real life stuff will come up, and Kotz will pull ahead of me by about 2 levels again. We've been doing it ever since around level 16. Let me transform, damn it. How is this outside? One thing I didn't see in the rule/Discord, maybe I missed it, but I assume there is no level boosting by level 70s for lower levels since they can use whatever gear. I also assume it's frowned upon for a level 60 to carry people through dungeons or quests. This has not yet come up, and if we run into a situation like this, it's kind of indicative that the challenge is going pretty well, because it would only happen with growing pains. So if it falls apart and no one ever makes it to 60 or 70, we can't have that problem in the first place. So I hope that we run into something like this and it can be adjudicated on. My stance is there's still an inherent limit to what gear a lower level person can wear that's crafted, because whether or not you're a level 60 blacksmith, a level 40 blacksmith, or a level 70 blacksmith, the amount of 20 to 30 breastplates that you can craft remains the same. The ease of farming for those materials gets a lot higher, because a level 70 can just AoE farm, maybe not ore specifically, but for, let's say, cloth for tailoring. They can AoE farm a lot more easily for cloth, and they can deck out the lower players more easily. And I don't think that that takes away from the experience for those players necessarily. I just think that the early stages of the challenge are especially rewarding, and we're in the most unique phase of the challenge right now. I think that this is the really special time. People that don't join in the beginning and don't have a bigger generation of people to level with will probably listen to the people who were Generation 1, Generation 2 while leveling, and we'll be talking about it fondly, and they may feel a bit of FOMO. As far as boosting through dungeons and quests, I could see an argument for people not wanting level 70 boosting being part of the guild experience. I can also see people saying, well, listen, this person is an experienced tank, and we're just trying to get him up to level 70 faster so that he can boost for us. Or, pardon, so that he can tank for us. So I think that we would probably need to hold a bit of a discussion between me and Casino because I don't feel right now like I could make a determination for the guild. I also don't have that authority. I can interpret the current rules, but for new ones, I would need to talk to Roush, the EU Guildmaster, and Casino, the NA Guildmaster. I agree the start is going to be the best time. For sure. For sure. People really like starting things. People really like being part of the initial rush. That's why when Classic started, look at the sheer amount of people that started Classic WoW. Now look at the percentage of people who actually followed through and hit level 60. There's nothing wrong with not finishing, but not starting and then joining later would feel like a significant mistake if you were ever going to play. If you're going to play, you might as well just start with everyone else. Back in my day, you had to work for the white gear on your back. True. True. I was there in the initial ore push for Sprocket. Hashtag I was there. That's fair. I was just asking because I didn't see any info on it. Yeah, and that's a good question. It's a good question, and it's one that we haven't adjudicated on. We have a whole ass international committee for this. We do. We do. Roush has done really good work organizing the Discord just today. Kind of trying to break up a little bit so that we can have more distinct areas for NA and EU. But I've spent a lot of time in voice with the EU folks, and they are impressed. They're impressed with the NA guild. Completely forgot what I was supposed to buy here. Step 15. Let me go back. Buy a bronze tube. I can't buy a bronze tube because that's a profession item, and I can't buy those. Sorry, Rested XP. Me personally, boosting seems a little counterproductive since the point of the challenge is to traverse and work through Azeroth with your fellow guildie. It's an incredible thing to bring up. Might as well discuss it now when the problem isn't prevalent than when it's right at the doorstep. I agree in principle 85% of the way there. The challenge also is predicated on expecting to have enough community members to be able to sustain your simultaneous growth while leveling. If we end up in a situation where a high percentage of us end up at endgame and we don't have a significant influx of new players, it could feel as if if I were a new player, I could feel like I was left high and dry, and that there's this artificial barrier between me and the senior members of the guild because it's in the rules that they're not allowed to help me. I could see that getting taken too far and, saying like from dawn till dusk, all we're going to do is run the person who said he's going to tank through dungeons just to boost him up to level 70 so he can tank heroics for us. But I don't really think that would happen, and I think we could probably outlaw boosting specifically without outlawing assistance. Imagine if someone took out vital parts of a terrarium, the entire ecosystem collapses. That's true. And right now, the most important resource that we have is new players and word of mouth, as well as, of course, we can't understate the importance of Saki's vids. But other than Saki, assuming Saki is a given, and he's a niche micro-celebrity who is going to have a level of social draw, assuming that's constant, then what we have control over is doing our own personal recruiting and trying to tell people in our life, like our friends, siblings, whatever, to join the challenge and join the guild. And I think that once people see a number of others have taken the challenge seriously, then they will probably take it more seriously in their own minds, and they'll see that it is possible. And I'm hoping that there is a significantly sized second generation of players that are willing to kind of solve most of their own problems and not rely on Sprocket, COTS, Casino, Rosevere, Sturk, or Solo Baggins, and these other folks that are higher level and have already put the work into leveling their professions. My hope is that they would start to level their own professions. They would run into situations where they're like, oh, I can solve that problem. Or, hey, we can solve that problem. Let's do it. Let's be, a productive second generation. We are still in the growth stage, and we need to still have a focused mindset, I think, on trying to bring more folks into the challenge. I'm a fraud. I've never died. Holy, that was a yap session. If you guys have any thoughts, feel free to let me know. I think I try to have reasonable takes, but I also try to have realistic ones. Okay, I'm out of here. All of that for a copper node. It ain't worth it. Another reason I want to get these flight paths right now is because when we eventually start to do these dungeons, Jet, can you invite me, please? What are we doing? I'm all zoned out. Oh, Koch just wanted to layer. I wonder if I can even go this way. I'll try it. I'll go to the beach. And then, yeah, this is South Shore. I'm dead. I'm dead as hell. I've never been more dead. I've never died, by the way. Come on. Get off me. Come on. Come on, we can do it. No. No, it's so close. I probably wasn't that far away. And then someone else came in. Someone could have saved me 2 seconds earlier. Oh wait, I'm in Arathia Highlands. I can just spirit res. Oh great. Say it ain't so. Guys, do not tell Rosevere what I'm doing to the armor he made me. How am I going to make it to Refuge Point? I think this is my best shot. Go, 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 go. I bet I die if I go down there.
Need something?
Two and a half hours, it does not feel like that. Time flies. My mana regen is horrible because of res sickness. Okay, now it's an easy walk to South Shore. Not going to die a single time, by the way. Very safe route. Oh, Terracar Forest Towers reset in 10 minutes. Tin Vein? Don't mind if I do. I can't think of a better place to mine tin. This one had a lot. Oh yeah, we slapped these guys. He thought it was Horde. A level and a half, that's all I need. Level 25 at the end of the day. It'll be nice for this res sickness to fall off. Shit, I did not realize. It was a level 28. Get me out of here. Alright, my odyssey is almost over. This town's weird. They're embarrassed of their blacksmith. They hide him out behind someone's house. They couldn't give him a fucking roof. You've got the lore master. What value does he provide to society? You've got the alchemy, and okay, well, Honeywell has aura. I guess this is her house. But still, this is what they think about you blue collar folks.
I supply only the fine ingredients. See you later.
Expensive repair. Flight point up here. Back to civilization.
Need help? Farewell. Greetings. Be careful.
It's going to feel so nice to get Wind Fury. Not just that, but my totems. All 4 elements. It's going to be really great. I can't wait. Even getting this, Flurry is going to be sweet. Plus 50% attack speed for 3 swings. And I'm starting to crit relatively often. Alright, it doesn't look like it, but that's because I have res sickness. I have like almost a 16% crit chance or something. I think I'm going to go for a tabard today. Costs 1 gold, but it has drip. The Discord's looking really nice. Pretty well organized. Everything makes sense. Delineation between EU and NA. I like it. Okay, time to not be so greedy. I'm gonna get some of this melon juice, even though it's expensive. Keep that for a rainy day. A thirsty day. See you later, Johnny. If you're still in the stream, have a good one. Peace. Have a good one. Appreciate you sticking around. Six to more 8 wool bags when I go back to town. Ooh. Get out of here, gobbler. Man, it feels nice to be slightly over-leveled. You miss so much less. Yo, Sprocket here, my fellow guildie. What up, man? You are my goat. Hey, Cots. Sprocket, this thing has put in absolute work for me. Thank you very much. Guess what? I don't know. What? Surprise me. Solid Iron Maul got you covered. Oh my gosh, 21.1 DPS and 12 stamina. 21.1. That's another 50% damage increase, along with 120 HP. A 20% HP increase with a plus 50% damage increase. That is absolutely based. I can't wait. It's not that this weapon is starting to fall off, because it's not. It's just that you can definitely tell that the supporting armor and the jewelry and stuff just really don't have the stamina and the base spirit probably to kind of sustain the damage that the mobs are doing. Because my damage is fine. One auto attack, 2 auto attack, a shock, and another auto attack. So 3 auto attacks and a shock, and I can kill stuff just fine. But the worst thing is my mana pool. My mana pool and my health pool. The damage is pretty good, but I can definitely see, I mean, again, these things aren't my level. I'm 3 levels higher. I could definitely see how in another 3 levels, fighting things my level could be pretty hard with my current gear. So yeah, that's awesome to see. I hope that that's available. Kots, I was actually talking about you earlier. Since level 16 or so, you and I have been kind of leapfrogging past each other by 2 levels. It's just kept happening. And now it's my turn to be slightly ahead. But remember, I'm missing all of next weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'll be in Washington with my grandpa. So, flying out with my wife on Friday. Thankfully, the airport is on her way to work, so she can drop me off. And then Monday, Monday she can pick me up after work from the airport. So that'll be a nice little trip. My grandpa's an interesting dude. He owned a chess school, and he was a private detective contracted by the state of California. Maybe that's enough to dox me. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I have the bronze axe, and let me tell you, as an arms warrior, it's carrying my ass in duskwood. Slightly better than the mace you got at the moment. Okay. Yeah, I haven't gone through the effort of learning axes yet. Eventually, when I do, I'll have to spend a little bit on leveling it up. But that's a problem for future Jetic. Yeah, my grandpa's an interesting dude. It sucks that his health is starting to fail. One of the smartest guys that I've ever met. He had a limited higher education. I believe he got a bachelor's. But he has just read voraciously. History is his favorite topic, specifically World War II. And secondary to that, like chess history and the politics surrounding chess, the interactions between the Soviet Union and the US. And yeah, he's just a really interesting fellow. He's fun to talk with. He's forgotten far more than I currently know. Future Jetic is going to be so pissed. That's true. I hate standing there in Elwyn, autoing wolves that are 20 levels below me. Miss. But it's got to be done. My dad's also good with history related to World War II. I think that just like a lot of men, we're probably better at diagnosing autism now. Not that everyone that's interested in history is autistic. But there does seem to be a correlation between that specific population of people and a certain branch of history. I've been power leveling my skill with mobs that are green while spamming Sunder Armor. That is nice. I don't have any melee skills up until I get Storm Strike. I think Storm Strike is my very first melee skill. Yep, it's just auto attacks and instant casts for me. I haven't cast Lightning Bolt for like 3 levels. Am I trolling myself? How the hell do I get there? Speaking of Axe, you heard about my adventure in STV. Did you go to the arena? I want to say I vaguely heard someone... I vaguely remember hearing someone say that the arena was completely depopulated. When to get the plans for the level 32 axe. Hell yeah. That sounds fun. I bet you didn't die a single time. I haven't died. I haven't died ever. If anyone's been watching from earlier, don't say anything. I have a reputation to maintain with Sprocket. Level 2 Frenzy in the water. Oh no. Man, I'm critting all over the place. Yeah, the attack speed on Frenzies, if I'm remembering, is just absolutely brutal. In the Draenei starter area, there's this like Sun Fury Defender or something. Some random blood elf with a sword and shield. And you're like, oh, just a basic warrior type. No. This thing auto attacks like it has a 5-point slice and dice. It is a machine gun. I had to combat heal multiple times on every pull. One of the satyrs is like that as well, the assassin satyr or something. Be having fun trying to arms tank later on. Hey, I mean, all you need is Sunder Armor. Demo Shout also generates a little bit of AoE threat. It's not much, but it has just a little bit of sticking power. Demo Shout, Sunder Armor, tab, Sunder Armor. You can manage. You're a smart guy. Thunderclap is really heavy on the rage cost, from what I remember, compared to Demo Shout. Is that right? Oh, you got talent on it. Okay, good. Yeah, if you've got talented Thunderclap, that's going to outperform. I gotta take a quick break. My rabbit is begging me for water. He just finished it, but he wants more, so I'll be right back. Give me a couple. Alrighty, I am back. I thought that Maelstrom weapon was a TBC thing, but I guess it was a Wrath thing. Dual wield spec, increased damage, unleashed rage, shamanistic rage. I'm going to be questing with Cots in Duskwood, so I might not be able to chat as much. That's fine, man. No worries. I'm just practicing yapping. No worries at all. I was talking to some people earlier, and yeah, they basically convinced me. It's kind of cringe to not try. Like, don't try to get everything perfect, just start. And I agree. I know there's some settings that I can tinker with, but that'll all happen later. I just wanted to get something that I could set up and practice so that when we start doing some guild events, I can actually record it and we can all look back on it and there's proof that we were there, you know? Good memories. Just past the 3-hour mark. I can't believe it. First stream in 7 years, and we go past 3 hours. Absolute virgin behavior. This place is so scary as a low level. I hope I don't die now that I said that. Don't do that. Oh, I can't go up there? Don't do that. No, don't do that. No, it's cool. We're good. No, don't do that. I've never died. We go again. Where the hell am I going? Ormer Ironbraid? What are you doing up there? There's no holy things found at the top of this mountain. There's nothing good and valuable at the top of this mountain. Leave those orcs alone. They have double cutlasses. They don't even have an offhand weapon. They just have a hand weapon. They're ambidextrous orcs. Leave them be. They have a third hand magically to use for nets. They're not even using cutlasses. They're using cutmores. And they really hurt. Look at this bastard. Aura farming. Well, this is actually part of the plan because now in ghost form you can actually make it up hills more easily if you didn't know. Because the body's way less. I mean the body's way more than your spirit does. So yeah, that was all part of the plan. Just like that. It's actually a speedrun tactic. It's in development. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but they actually might patch it out for being too good.
Hello.
I want to hop in Discord with some other people, but I don't want to force my stream on them. If they don't want to be recorded, I would have to ask them beforehand. You can pop in? Okay, perfect. Let's hop in Discord, and I actually don't know if I have the settings correct for Discord to register its sound over my stream. I don't know if it's just my mic that it's picking up or Discord as well, so it'll be a nice little test. Let me make it out of this real quick first because I've never died. I don't want to on stream. Okay, easy peasy. Is there an NAVC? Let me check. Yeah, NA General is what it's called. Do you see that? Okay, I'm gonna hop in Discord. Okay, I'm gonna hop in Discord. Hello, hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
Going alright? I don't think I hear
Hello.
my voice on the stream, so...
Yep. Yeah, I'm not hearing it, so I must not have the settings set up yet. I was fiddling with it earlier, but yeah.
I don't like hearing myself.
Saki said
Oh,
he was
God,
going to
it's
hop
so
on
weird.
and help me with. Oh yeah, I had to mute my stream so I couldn't hear myself.
Yeah, I did that too.
Saki told me he was going to hop on today and show me
Oh,
OBS. And he said that he had a completely open schedule.
God, what are you doing? I have spiders on me.
I pinged him. He didn't follow up. It is what it is. Not saying it's his fault, but it certainly isn't mine.
I mean, he might be busy or might have just...
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And I did. God, the minute you for 10. No.
I give him the benefit of the doubt. Also, it's weird. I just turned on my stream for a sec, and
Yeah.
I sound really different than what I normally do. I
Yeah,
have not. I don't remember the last time I've spoken for 3
OBS.
hours before.
It's probably just OBS shenanigans. I sound different too, so it's not a big deal. That's so funny to me. That's like, I was abandoned for a note of 10. So I just died.
How are you and Cots liking Duskwood?
I like Dustwood. Not only is it good quest and XP, there's a lot of different things you can farm, and there's absolute lore in there.
Definitely a lot of lore.
Oh yeah. Sure, you got Morgan, you got the Morgan Fail, you got the Morgans. All that good stuff, you know? I guess technically the old storybook counts too. When that one gets removed and like, what was it, Cataclysm?
I can't recall.
The bullet up in the Discord, yeah, it happens. Somebody said that on your stream.
Double audio. You're hearing double audio for Discord. Okay.
Two people said that on the stream.
Gotcha. So
I muted it so I don't hear you twice. Also because the stream is slightly delayed.
so then who do I have to mute?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about OBS.
Oh, Damn it, I looked away. I'm gonna hop out of Discord for a sec while I figure out what's going on. Okay. Nice little experiment. Good to know that shit is not fine. I can help you out with OBS when I get done with dishes. That would be awesome. I would appreciate it. I didn't ever use OBS. When I last did any form of streaming whatsoever, I had Streamlabs, and it was set up pretty different. So it would be nice to figure out. I also am starting to run a little bit low on time. I think that within the next half an hour or so, I'll have to take a short break. And by short, I'm thinking maybe an hour or so. But after that, I could probably hop on again. It's just that I wasn't expecting to stream at all today. Can I add Crappy Healer to the guild? I sure can. Just right before I do Nerdy One, can you confirm you have the add-on set up and you also have no gear except for that which is cosmetic, which has like no armor value whatsoever. You also have no food and water. Once you confirm that, then I can invite you. I have it added on and no gear. Perfect. No food and water as well. You can buy water from vendors, but food has to be crafted from cooking. No food or water. Perfect. G-invite. All right, welcome to the guild. I hope you enjoy your stay. From what it sounds like, do you have an audio channel for your game and one for Discord? You know what? More than likely I do. So either that or I'm getting a double input from my mic and also from Discord. Maybe there's two audio inputs. So just to clarify, you were hearing me twice, but you weren't hearing Sprocket in voice? We'll be on later. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, no problem. Have a good one. Was hearing Sprocket twice and me once. Okay. Hearing Sprocket twice. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to definitely take a look at it. The big goal I've already accomplished, which was start streaming this week. The secondary goal is increase the production quality of the stream by next week. This weekend it's a total wash. I'm gone for 4 days straight. But then when I get back, I would like to go back to regular streaming schedules and making more regular progress and trying to document through streams the progress of the NA Guild. I don't think that I'm quite to the level of having time to do produced videos, but I know that I can just hop on and start streaming because I can just do it right now. I'm thinking one channel is picking up game and Discord, the other channel is picking up Discord. Okay, that would make sense. That would make sense. Let me step over here. I'm probably gonna die. Just kidding, never have. I'll open up OBS real quick. So right now I have two sources. One source is application audio capture, and the other is game capture. mic, desktop audio, and application audio capture all share the same track. It might be better if I change the active track. Oh, there we go. If I change track 1 to microphone and track 2 to Discord. And then I could try to mute my... Oh, nice. The first ooze, the very first ooze that I killed, I got Sita's bag, digging through the ooze. I've killed 40 of those before and not gotten this damn bag. Streamer luck. That's nice. Okay, back in OBS. Maybe what I'll do is when I go into Discord, I will have to mute my mic and just have the audio mixer picking up nothing but application audio capture, which should be Discord. Worth looking into. The biggest thing I'm worried about is definitely the video quality and the audio quality. A lot of the other things will fall in line. There's a way to exclude the desktop or audio one from picking up Discord. I just don't remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, I'm sure there's a pretty elegant solution. It's just my complete ineptitude and inexperience that has led me to this. I have mine set to where it picks up everything except for what runs on Discord and what runs from my browsers. That's sweet. So if I understand that correctly, you could play things on your browser just for yourself and it doesn't get played to the whole stream. You get one shitty troll running text-to-speech slurs on Discord, and you tend to want to fix it. I believe that immediately. Wouldn't it be nice from time to time to be able to have the entire Discord channel be sent over the stream though? Because then we can get real-time, responses and progress for a dungeon or something like that. That would be pretty cool. That's good content. This hunter is absolutely cleaning house, not leaving any drops for me. Oh Lord. Oh, no way. Rip. If you want, you can come to Duskwood. Yes, true. This is going to probably sound really cringe. I don't know if I can honestly concentrate on multiple things at once. Having the silly little arrow tell me, hey, do this. Hey, go do this. Hey, you should go do this, silly. While I yap has been pretty nice. It kind of lets me turn my brain off and do other things. While my basic executive control function levels my character for me. Only 4 more. I was actually talking about this with Solo Baggins. He's on the exact opposite side of that conversation. He's very against having any kind of assistance. He wants to do everything on his own. He doesn't want add-ons that provide too much convenience. He doesn't want routes. He doesn't want metas. And he said that he feels like he tends to bounce between 1,000 different things, and that having like one route would make him feel just completely strangled. He wouldn't have fun doing it. So yeah, we are very different on that accord. I feel like having the path kind of opens up my attention for conversations. Today it's just been yapping. I've been yapping for 3.5 hours, but most other days it's usually over text. I try to be really active in the guild chat. I have the bare minimum in add-ons. I use Questy mostly for the auto tracking. That is pretty sweet. I ended up turning my auto tracking off because I wanted to free up real estate on the right hand side of my screen. I like to be able to keep my eyes at about the same level as the top of my character. I don't want to look too far past this rectangle. If I'm moving areas, I can shoot over here, look at the minimap, and if I need to be reminded of what's going on, like quest-wise, I can look over here to the left. But otherwise, I try to keep my eyes in the center of the screen as much as possible. That's why I changed my UI the way I did. Even my spells are generally pretty centralized. You use Questy but not Rested XP. Yeah, this is my second foray with Rested XP. I used it once. What version of WoW was it? It wasn't Classic. It might have been Wrath. And then I played a lot of Turtle WoW, and I had Questy for that, Turtle Questy, or T-WoW, whatever. But yeah, I knew that I wanted to play somewhat effectively and try to. I knew about this this weekend coming up that I was going to miss, so I wanted to make the progress relatively quickly when I could, because I was going to miss out on opportunities later, and I didn't want to fall so far behind my generation of the guild. So I've been pretty happy with it. I know I'll have some catching up to do when I get back, but it's all good. I think it's really cool that so many players are choosing to take it slower and actually focus on add-ons, or pardon me, professions. I was still in my Rested XP brain. Autopilot. As far as jewel crafting is concerned, I've been trying to send all my gems to COTS. But then today, I've been sending my ore to Terrahen to try to power level his mining. I'm sure people will be happy to run you through dungeons for that sweet, sweet dungeon XP. I also hope so. I hope so. If all goes well, I still think that we could probably do a Dead Mines run today. It does seem a little less likely depending on who's on. We have, let's see, COTS, you, Only Crafted, and me. So honestly, if we got one more person that was around level 22, 23, we could do Dead Mines. And it would be really fun to stream it, but unfortunately, in about 20 minutes, I am going to have to take a 1 hour or so break. Got some IRL stuff to handle, and then I would probably be available afterward. Yeah, exactly. And Mondays, I'm not sure what level of activity we can realistically expect on Mondays. I think there will be some people on, but the lion's share of gaming definitely happens on the weekend. Nice, finish that up. %. I have a lot of free time, so I'm almost always going to be on. Nice. Nice. I do work Tuesday through Friday. I work 4 10-hour days, which is really nice for having a consistent 3-day weekend. But the days that I do work, they feel pretty long. I like throwing out the little advertisements here and there. I feel like it's passive promotion. Promoting of the guild. I kind of do that when people try to invite me to groups. It's a good way to do it. You run into people organically, but you run into a lot more if you throw out a general zone post every now and then. Yeah, right. Someone was passing my name around pretty well yesterday. At one point I logged in and 3 people messaged me within a minute of me logging in. Saying that they heard that I was the recruiter. I'm like, yeah, I mean, technically any officer could recruit. But if I'm the one that's known for doing it, then feel free. The more the merrier. We can really stabilize the guild economy through just pure population. You've heard of niche micro-celebrities like Saki, right? I'm niche micro-celebrities. I occasionally get a whisper asking to join the guild. Dude, I know, we always need more miners. Always need more miners. And I've been pushing it. I've really been pushing it. Yeah, I think I'm level 100 right now in mining. 102. Yep, 102. I have not ran into much tin today. I haven't specifically been looking for it, but any that I run into, I immediately mine. You're going mining and jewel crafting? Okay. Nice. Kotz and myself are also both miner jewel crafters. It's a good combo. We're going to need some serious jewel crafting when we get to level 58 into the Outlands. Suddenly jewelry slots become pretty important. Yeah, exactly. Boosted level 58s are all over the place with their mounts taking the nodes. Sucks to see, but it is what it is. Alright, I got another 12 minutes or so, and then I need to hop off. I'm going to try to hit level 24 in that time. A bar and a half, I should be able to do it. Very possible. I like how these raiders know your name. They're just talking shit at you in Orcish. I don't remember the drop rate being so ass on these banners. I've killed like 10 of these guys. Gotten one banner. I think it'll be fun leveling up our reputations during TBC, knowing that we're not allowed to use any of them until we hit 70. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we can use profession items, right? Or not profession items. We can get reputation items when we hit 70. Or does it have to be dungeon dropped only from guild runs? Yeah, because I don't think that's come up yet. Is the challenge officially over in all regards when we hit level 70? Or does it just become you can use items that drop from dungeons and raids in guild groups, and you may also utilize reputation items along the way? Because that has some different effects. Also, TBC is known for having a large number of pre-bis items be available while questing. You'll be like level 62 in Terracar or something, and you'll get your pre-bis neck. So I wonder if we can hold on to those items in our personal bank and then use them at level 70 as pre-bis, or if you can't replace that item until you get a drop in a guild group. Yeah, I'm definitely going to hit 24 before I have to go. Huge crits. see, 3 more. Yeah, about 3 more or so until I level. Shaman does feel pretty efficient. The interplay between your mana and health is quite nice. You can kind of front load and then not use any spells for a while. You start regenning some for the next fight. Searing Totem isn't amazing, but it adds up. Making some notes for the next tribunal meeting. Yeah, right. The next intercontinental, the Order of the Earned Not Botters. Shit. This is it. If I can level here, then I get full mana. That felt good. Fuck you, Dragon Maw Raiders. Congrats, Cots. That was really close. Down to 11 HP. And then my Searing Totem sent it to running away, so I was able to auto-attack it to death. Man, yeah, just as I was saying that Shaman is pretty efficient. That was nice. Alright, this is where I have to call it. I'm going to go back to the road, find somewhere safe. Coming up on 4 hours for my first stream back in 7 years. Thanks for hanging out. If I could meet up with you at some point later, Casino, and see if we could troubleshoot that OBS error. I know it's kind of an imposition on you, but that would be super helpful. Other than that, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later.